All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, coming in with a unit breakdown. Kind of wanted to go over Luke Skywalker and mostly the operative Luke. I will kind of touch a little bit on Commander Luke at the very end, but I really wanted to discuss the Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. All right, so if you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead, leave a comment below with maybe another unit you'd like to see me break down, one of your favorite units, or anything like that, just to kind of get an idea of what you guys are looking for or what you guys are wanting to learn about these guys. So I just kind of want to keep, informing as many people as I can for what I know. So yeah, I'm going to go with Luke here. So just to go ahead and start out, he's 195 points. He's got 7 health, which is awesome. That's just like Operative Vader. And he's got 4 courage, which is better than Operative Vader. So he's going to be able to take 8 suppression before panicking. He's going to be able to take 4 suppression before having to take 1 action. So there's a lot that he's going to be able to always do. He's pretty much always going to be able to have those 2 actions unless people just really focus fire him down. So don't let that happen. All right. Pretty easy to go. He's one of 2 Jedis that are able to, or force wielders that are able to surge to crit naturally. Usually it's either Jedi Hunter that allows them to surge to crit or no surging at all. So Dooku is the only other one that surges to crit naturally. He's got red defense dice. He's speed 2, so he's pretty great. He's got 3 force slots and a training slot. He's got only melee, so there's no ranged attack. You could do that by putting in one of those 3 force slots saber throw to give him that ranged attack. And then he's got jump 1 as an action. So once per turn, you can jump over something that's height 1 or jump onto something that's height 1. You have charge. So after you perform a move action, you may perform a free melee attack action. So if you do happen to only have 1 action left, you can move and then do a free, attack action. Sorry, melee attack action. So you kind of want to keep him close. He doesn't have relentless, so you're not going to be able to move, and throw the saber. So he's still going to have a pretty ranged or pretty small range in if you did give him the saber. So we'll kind of look at that and I'll kind of, just kind of see different ways to play him. He's got deflect, which is pretty awesome. So whenever you spend that dodge token, you're going to be able to surge to defense. And if it's a ranged attack, you're going to be able to, for every surge, give them a wound. Or, yeah, pretty much like that. He's the only one that I know that on his unit card has disengage. So anytime, no matter what, he can just disengage. So after, you can perform moves while engaged with 1 unit. So if there's only 1 unit that you are engaged to, then you can speed 2 away and do whatever you need to. Now, you can't do it, obviously, if you're in melee with multiple units. So just be careful with that. He is immune to pierce. So unless he's going up against Dooku, you're not piercing him. And then he's got Master of the Force 1. So at the end of your activation, you can just ready one of those expended force slots. And then he's got 7 black dice. 7 black dice naturally. Surging to crit, which is pretty cool. But still, there's a 50-50 chance of getting something on one of those. And then Impact 2, Pierce 2. So the Pierce 2 is pretty awesome. Impact 2 is always going to be great. So even if you go after armor, you're getting 2 wounds through. So he's not going to have anything to take away cover. So again, ranged attacks are hard on him. And it's really got to be where he's kind of trapped or can't really do anything. So in my opinion, there's a low chance of taking saber throw on him, but it's a good one. It's not bad to take it. But for like the one maybe I'll do today, I won't put force or saber throw on him, and I'll go over some stuff, and then I will put saber throw on him and kind of go over some stuff just so that you guys get a overall look. And then I'll kind of go over a few maybe training slot ideas for him. But yeah. And then he's got 6 command cards. So we'll go over and look at his command cards real quick. He's got Son of Skywalker. So after Luke performs his first attack, he may perform a free attack action, even if he's already performed an attack action during his activation. So he can perform 2 attacks. So you can move and charge, and then you can attack again. Or you can take aim, attack, and then attack again. So this is just purely awesome, especially with charge. I mean, that's fantastic. And then maybe you used burst of speed to immediately get him in and then go ham. So that's one way and one thing to do with this card. So I would definitely go with that. So sabotage to communications would actually be really well because he is an operative. So when you do play that card, you are issuing while an opponent is issuing orders using a command card, they can only issue one order with that card. So maybe they're trying to give it to 3 different units, while you just are now only allowing them to do it for 1 unit. Ambush would be good as well, just in case you needed to give it to somebody else and not Luke. Okay. And so you serve your master well. This is a great one for him. And it's free. So this one reminds me of Vader's Might, where he gets that free force pull action at range 1 and move them at range 1 instead of speed 1, which I think is really good. Every time I've used that in a game, it's pretty much been able to stop everything that person's doing, and they've got to rethink everything. That because it's a free action, so you just force pull them with that, and then you still have force push probably attached, so you can do more stuff. And he's got the force throw operative Vader force throw as a ranged attack. So there's so much force stuff you can do with Vader. It's insane. So it's awesome. But okay, back to this one. So again, a free action. So choose a friendly. So you can choose any of your core or your special trooper, special forces, or a support trooper. Then at range 1, or a suppressed enemy core, special forces, or support trooper unit at range 1. So you need to be pretty close to everyone. And when you do, you can do a free action with one of your own guys. Or if you had some stormtroopers that were next to you that were courage 1 and they had 1 suppression on them or more and they weren't panicked, then you can do a move or attack action with that unit, or start melee with that unit if it's even an enemy unit as well. So you can basically control. It's almost like a guidance, or the one that Palpatine has. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I can't think of it, but pulling the strings. There it is. So it's almost kind of like that, exactly. But they have to have suppression on an enemy trooper in order to use it. So yeah, they've got to have suppression. So Luke Skywalker does have a way of putting suppression on someone so that you also can do an attack. So it's kind of like you would be able to move, attack, and then for free action, put suppression on someone due to one of his force cards, which I'll explain. Well, I might as well go ahead and show you guys. So with Jedi Mind Trick, so free action, choose a non-commander or operative, which is the same kind of units you have to choose in his 1 pip. And they gain 2 suppression tokens, which would automatically suppress them if they were even courage 2. So now you can pull the strings on them and then get another attack. So you kind of can, if possible, if you had that card, use his 1 pips to do 2 attacks every time. So that's just freaking fantastic, especially if it's just in the right situation. So that can go over really, really well. So we'll go with that. You just need to make sure that he's alive, however you can. One of his other ones, which I like because it gives him a dodge token, and then his other 2 pip also gives him a dodge token. And then his 3 pip also gives him a dodge token. So now there's multiple ways to be able to give him some dodge tokens if needed. So if you don't have a bus and you are not escorting him with the bus into heavy transport, I would definitely go with Full of Surprises for sure, because he's going to gain a dodge. And when he's defending, you're going to have 4 extra white dice. Okay. So with the 4 extra white dice, if you have any suppression, then you're going to take away. If he's got 2 suppression, you take 2 away. If he's got 3 suppression, you take 3 of those away. So for every suppression that he has, you take a dice away. but you get to roll an additional 4 white dice if he has no suppression when you're defending. Now, obviously, when you're defending against the second attack, if they got hit through and you got a suppression, then you're rolling 3. So yeah, there you go. But he gains a dodge. That way he has deflect. You have more chances of getting deflect with those extra white dice. So, but it's a possible. I mean, trying to hope for paint on the white dice is pretty risky. But my ally is the Force. Can give him a dodge if you give it to him. Now, when a friendly trooper unit is issued an order, it gains a dodge. So you'd have to, again, issue it to him for him to get that dodge, but it is a way for him to get a dodge. Say that you were in the bus and you use this, you give it to the people outside the bus. Not that hard. So that's pretty cool. He doesn't need it. Maybe if he is not in a bus, you give it to him and you give it to somebody else, he gains that dodge. So perfect. And then Return of the Jedi is another one of his. So when Luke is issued an order, he gains a dodge because you have to give him an order. And then when Luke activates, each friendly trooper unit at range 1 to 3 of him may remove a suppression token. So again, like I said, he's basically got Inspire 3. Yeah, Inspire 3, which he can take, Inspire 1 at range 1 to 3. Sorry, that's what I've been meaning to say. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. And each friendly trooper unit, that's not just, Inspire 2, where you can only take away 2 suppression tokens from people. This is like each friendly trooper unit at range 1 to 3. Yeah, I'm repeating myself at that point. But yeah, he gains a dodge, which is the most important, and he's giving out a ton of orders. Now, this one is a tricky one. You've got to be very careful when you're using this one, but it can be used very, very nicely. I've had it used against me with Vader and the Royal Guard, and they were unable to attack, which kind of screwed a lot of stuff up, and they were able to get away. But yeah, so Luke Skywalker is going to gain surge to defense without even having to have a dodge. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. And you cannot perform attacks. So that's the other thing. So even if you say that you were in range 2 of something and you could saber throw, you can't. So, or you were wanting to charge, you can't, because you can't do any sort of attack. When he's issued an order, you can choose up to 2 enemy trooper units at range 1 of him, and then those units cannot perform attacks. So if anyone's engaged to him or if anyone's around him before they engage him, you play this card, you're going second, but immediately after he has issued that order on the field, you can go ahead and choose 2 units at range 1 of him who cannot attack him. So whether they go first or not, they're not going to be able to attack him, those 2 units. Now, other units can, but not those 2 units, which might screw their orders or might screw up their plans, but that's a possibility of what you can do. So depending on how you want to build him, I'd probably go with that one. And definitely go with my allies, the Force. If you want to be safe and you weren't sure what else to take, I would probably take Push and Assault. But maybe you want to take I Am a Jedi. Maybe you want to take some other stuff because you really plan on using him a lot. So why not? Give it a shot. So let's kind of see the way that we can make Luke the most beneficial unit that we can. Okay, so when we look at him, and he's got the 7 black dice. So he's got a training slot where we can add tenacity if we really wanted to. Well, let's go to tell me the odds. All right, so 7, he's got 7 black dice. He's going to have, maybe he's injured. He has, an extra red dice for that. So I'm trying to see how he could maybe get an aim. All right, so maybe he's not able to get an aim. He's just injured, so he runs, and he's got the 2 actions, but he's got a double move to get there. He's injured because, who knows? So he's not able to take, an aim. He's got Pierce 2, Impact 2. All right. And say you're going up against at least, red defense dice, no surging. So maybe Maul or Grievous or someone like that. And no dodge. We'll say no dodge. And let's see. If he's going up against someone who's immune to Pierce, basically, if you were to roll, you're getting 3 wounds through. That's if they're immune to pierce. So say that you're attacking stormtroopers with the red and with tenacity, we're going to get 4 wounds through. So, okay, not much difference. So that's pretty good because if they're immune to pierce, you're pretty much, I mean, you're still pretty close to getting almost 3 wounds through. Now, say we don't have tenacity and we just have, hold on. So that they have a dodge token, okay? And say that they're not immune to pierce. Say that you're just going after some normal stormtroopers. And, well, no, they wouldn't have it, a dodge. But what I really want to point out is, all right, so just against red dice, kind of great, okay? 1 red for tenacity, 7 black naturally. Say he's able to have 1 aim. When we roll, you're getting 5 wounds through. Median roll is 7. Okay, say we don't have tenacity and we just have a 7 black dice and he was able to take that aim, like we said. So with an aim and tenacity, 5 wounds. Say we don't take tenacity and instead we took offensive stance, defensive stance, because maybe you want to take that aim and then you want to be able to move, or you're in melee and you're able to at least take an aim action and do something. So let's just see if possibly 2 aims with just the black are going to be better against the same thing. Okay, so right now there's 5 wounds and 7 possible rolls. 5 wounds, 7 possible rolls. So you might not need tenacity. You could probably just do the free aims. Okay, and then yeah, say they were immune to pierce. Period. You're still getting 3 wounds through, just like you would if you had tenacity. So there's a possibility of being able to really benefit off of both. So if you wanted, you can. With the 2 aims, it's possible that you do some more, you do just as much damage. The thing that tenacity doesn't do is give you extra dodge whenever you take a dodge action. So maybe you need to take that dodge action and you can get 2 dodges instead for that 1 extra point. So to me, offensive stance, defensive stance, or tenacity works just fine. If you need to save points, maybe take tenacity, but it's just 1 extra point for offensive stance to get those 2 aims in case you needed to take the 2 aims, especially with rolling that many dice and black dice. Because I mean, again, so if we were to go to just real quick, go to the roller and we went to 7 black dice, you surge to crit naturally. But look, on the first one, that's already 5 blanks. With 2 aims, you're going to be able to do a lot more. If you had a red, maybe you would be able to have 3, but you still have so many blanks. With 2 aims, you'd be able to really re-roll a lot of them. So there you go. That's 4 blanks. All right, 1 blank, 2 blank, 3 blank. You're definitely getting some blanks in here. So I think, man, that's only 1 hit. So again, I think the 2 aims might be a little bit more beneficial than just an extra dice in this particular scenario. But that's all I'm saying. Now, we do have the ability to upgrade his force slots to make him how we really want him to. Okay, so if you are going to bring a bus, which I would in this one, I would do burst of speed, force push, and Jedi mind trick. And that's with a bus for 2 reasons. 1, we don't have a commander, and you can do a commander. You are more than welcome to do just the generic rebel officer and take vigilance. And maybe with vigilance, you can also maybe take the portable scanner, allow him to do some extra little bit of work. You take we'll take some, how about we take some rebel veterans? And with the rebel veteran, we just take, the Mark II. Let's give him a heavy. Let's double it just because we want to make sure we have it. All right, we have 6 activations, almost at 500 points. So let's see, maybe you could bring Tauntauns. That would be pretty cool because then that's more melee and they're pretty fast. Or you could do maybe the ATRTs for anti-armor. And maybe you wanted to do maybe a laser cannon, do 2 of those. So that's 8 activations. And because you're moving Luke in himself, okay, so you might be able to do some Wookiees. You might be able to do, let's see what it would be like. No, you're not gonna be able to do 2 Wookiees. You could get 1 Wookiee in and give him tenacity, maybe into the fray if you really wanted to. And maybe because we'd have so many points left extra, so maybe you went with a rebel strike team. Go ahead and give yourself the sniper. You've got 21 points left, so you're definitely able to give yourself maybe some prepared supplies for those Wookiees. Or maybe instead of into the fray, you give yourself situational awareness so that you can take those dodges, especially maybe getting those dodges from the rebel officer, or maybe those 2 units that you give with my allies the force is a Wookiee warrior. I mean, that's able to do something. That's 10 activations. You have 18 points left. Maybe you can do an extra person here, the medical droid. So boom, you have 10 activations. You got a medical droid. You've got the rebel officer. You've got 2 ATRTs for anti-armor stuff. You've got some melee here. You've got some melee with Luke. You just got to keep Luke definitely without being hit. So if this were the case, since Luke's not in a bus at the moment, I would change him up and probably give him force reflexes to make sure he's getting those dodges. Yeah, and that's that one. So maybe after those, if you didn't want that and you wanted to, let's see, give him the bus, which I like a lot, then I would go back to where we were. So burst of speed, force push, and Jedi mind trick to make sure that you can definitely use that 1 pip for a certain guaranteed extra attack. Okay, so that one little thing is going to give you that extra attack just in case. And then again, maybe offensive stance, defensive stance. And then as an operative, maybe give him R2, because since we're going to transport, we're going to need something to heal. So R2, repair 2, capacity 2. So he's going to be able to heal 2 wounds twice. He's got secret mission, so that's an extra plus. And then inconspicuous. So that's not pretty bad at all. And then, so we don't have a commander, so we need a commander. So there's 2 different ones that we can do for that. We could do Wedge or we could do Shriv. I'd rather do Shriv as a field commander because as a free action, you're going to be able to either give a unit you're transporting or at range 1 to 2 a dodge and a suppression if you want to give them a suppression, but at least a dodge. So maybe you can give Luke a dodge before, if you were to give, the AA5 a command before Luke, or maybe maybe you gave the AA5 the command, and maybe if you had the onboard comms channel, that would also give Luke an order, but maybe you don't need that. So we go with Shriv to be able to give out some dodges. If we're transporting Luke and I'm using it as heavy cover, and possibly as the backworld medic, will give out suppression and, possibly heal Luke since we wouldn't have a medic possible. Maybe you want to give out some aims. Giving out some aims is also pretty awesome because that'll really help. Maybe they can take a dodge. They got the free aim, and then they could move and then shoot, and then they've already got lots of stuff. And maybe you gave them the rebel core instead of the vets. So let's go with the refurbished gonk droid just to make sure that we keep Luke alive. And then maybe we go with the unorthodox tactician. Let's see. To give out some aims. We'll go with some rebel troopers. How about we do some rebel troopers with the specialist? That way they gain a dodge. Go with 3 of them. And then maybe you did want a commander still, because that wouldn't be too bad. Maybe you can allow the rebel rebel officer to go with these 3 rebel troopers. And since the vigilance will be here, and he'll be able to have the courage valued and with inspire to kind of help these rebel troopers, he can do that. And with the rebel trooper specialist being able to generate a dodge, and they have nimble, and then with vigilance, hopefully this kind of will generate and keep dodge tokens on them the whole time, while your AA5, R2, and Luke, possibly the R2 is following behind the AA5 truck, carrying Luke. Maybe Luke gets off, R2 gets on, you keep the speeder truck going on, Maybe you keep it as heavy cover. Maybe the rebel troopers are, falling behind while R2 goes somewhere else and then meets the A5 or anything like that. You could do that. We still have lots of options to do at the moment. We only have 7 activations. We're almost at 600 points. So there's a few things that we could do. We can definitely get some strike teams. We can definitely do at least 2 units of Wookiees. So if we were to just do 2 Wooks with tenacity at the moment and double that up, you still have 20 points left. I mean, that's a heavy melee. You've got 2 whole units of Wookiees. Maybe the Wookiees stay behind the AA5 truck for that extra cover, and you give them maybe the 2 dodges with the command card at my ally is the force, where you're giving out 2 orders and they gain 2 dodges. And then again, since you have 20 points left, maybe you can give the Wookiee warriors the situational awareness and maybe prepared supplies, because then by that point you're looking at almost 794. So you still got a lot of options to do. You still have 6 points that you can put. Maybe you give one of those rebel troopers the extra gear slot of prepared supplies, for the mere fact that maybe vigilance is going to be able to keep dodges on 2 of these guys, and then maybe on the next turn you pop the prepared supplies, keep it on him, or maybe you got rid of prepared supplies on him and then just gave the rebel officer the portable scanner to make exactly 800 points, and being able to hand out 2 dodges and then being able to keep 2 dodges every single time on rebel troopers. So you're generating dodges, keeping dodges. Your Wookiee warriors and your AA5 are going ham straight towards everything, while your Luke Skywalker is being guided with the AA5, and the R2 is healing the AA5. Your Wookiee warriors falling behind, making sure they got the heavy cover, situational awareness, ways to be able to get those dodges. I mean, I think this is a pretty good one. And again, this is like a different way of playing Luke. You're not playing with the saber throw, but you can. So with saber throw, if you were going to go with him, maybe I would take offensive standstill, and then instead of Jedi mind trick, I would just take saber throw, and then maybe instead of burst of speed, you just do force reflexes, and you take a different command hand. Maybe instead of these, you serve your master well, you just take ambush or something. So that's another way of using Luke that way, where he's outside of the bus, or you use him a little bit more offensively with saber throw instead of just waiting for melee, which I think he does the best in. So that's why I'm just gonna give him that. And with you're rolling 4, you're still able to roll 4 black dice for saber throw, which is awesome. But again, with as many blanks as you're getting, it is, I don't know, it's hard to get through that cover. But again, you can get rid of Jedi mind trick and go with saber throw. And maybe if you didn't want burst of speed, you could go with oh my goodness, force reflexes. Gosh, I can't think. And maybe instead of unorthodox tactician, where you're giving out aims, maybe you decide to go with the backworld medic, keep healing everyone, go ahead, get rid of burst of speed and put your force reflexes. There you go. But then you don't need to keep an AA5 truck at that point. You could just get rid of the AA5 truck. You've got your commander, you've got your Wookiees, you got all that stuff. You still have a little bit of, wiggle room here. You can give yourself some more. How about you give yourself some more vets and with a heavy, and then give yourself maybe a medic. Nah. And then maybe the Mark II. Boom. 10 activations still, 799. You've got some heavies, you've got Wookiees, you've got a lot of stuff going on. You don't need R2 unless you wanted to keep R2 just for the secret mission. I mean, he's a pretty cheap activation. You could probably do a sniper strike team instead of R2, since you don't have a vehicle. So if you don't want secret mission, since you don't have a vehicle, maybe just go for the strike team and give yourself a sniper. It gives you 8 extra points to do with whatever you want. Maybe Yeah. I mean, gives you the bid. But yeah, that's different ways to use Luke, in my opinion. I think he's really great. 7 health, 4 courage. He's going to be able to get a lot done if you keep him safe and you keep him out of line of fire, which is why I recommend the bus. But again, you don't have to have the bus. But yeah. All right, guys. So if you liked, go ahead, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below if maybe another unit you'd like to see. I mean, I'm trying to maybe go over like another Republic or a CIS next instead of just trying to sticking to Empire or Republic or sorry, Rebels. But just kind of let me know. I'm thinking maybe Anakin or Dooku, but just let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. And yeah, catch you guys later. Hopefully, y'all check me back out in the next video.